If you ever see a giant ship out of the water, one detail is almost impossible to miss. The bottom is often painted red. At first, it looks like design, maybe tradition, maybe just an old maritime habit. But that red paint is not there to make the ship look pretty. It is there because the ocean is trying to claim the hull. Because the sea is not just water, it is a living world, and a clean hull looks like free real estate. And the first problem begins almost invisibly. First come bacteria, forming a thin film so small you would barely notice it. Then algae arrive, then tiny larvae. Then the hull slowly stops being a smooth surface. Give it enough time, and the ship is no longer just carrying cargo. It is carrying a small underwater neighborhood. It is like leaving a car outside for months, except under a ship. The dirt is alive and comes with tiny shells. If the hull is not protected, the ocean starts decorating it in its own style. Unfortunately, the ocean has expensive taste. This is called biofouling. Living organisms building up on a surface that stays in the water. But the real problem is not that it looks ugly. The real problem is physics. Once the hull becomes rough, the sea starts pushing back harder. A clean hull is like a smooth spoon moving through water. A dirty hull is more like sandpaper. Imagine swimming in a clean swimsuit, then swimming in a muddy winter coat. You can move, but every meter costs more effort. The ship still moves, but the engines must work harder to keep the same speed. And for a large ship, harder work means more fuel, more cost, and more maintenance. That is why something as small as barnacles can turn into a very expensive problem. The smoother the surface, the easier water moves around it. The rougher it gets, the more the ocean fights back. So ships need more than ordinary paint. They need a protective layer made for life underwater. That red layer is not decoration. It is armor against things trying to live on the ship. This is antifouling paint. Its job is simple. Make the hull a terrible place for barnacles and algae to settle. It is a little like a nonstick pan, not because it cooks the ocean, but because things have a harder time staying attached. A container ship does not want to become a floating hotel for barnacles. It already has enough cargo to carry. So the red paint helps keep the hull smoother, cleaner, and easier to push through the sea. That means less drag, less fuel wasted, and fewer expensive trips back to dry dock. But if the purpose is protection, why is the color so often red? Here is the part most people get wrong. Red was not chosen first because it looked nice. The red color comes from the history and chemistry of protective coatings used below the waterline. Many traditional anti-fouling coatings used copper-based compounds, which often gave the paint that red-brown tone. It is not red because fish demanded better fashion. The color came from materials that did the job. Over time, the red bottom became common, even though modern coatings can come in different formulas and colors. So the color is partly chemistry, partly history, and partly a tradition that stayed because it worked. But this story has a darker side. A coating strong enough to stop life from attaching can also affect life around it. Because protecting a ship is easy to understand, protecting the ocean at the same time is much harder. It is like using weed killer in a garden. It may clear the path, but if it spreads too far, it can hurt the things you wanted to keep. Some older anti-fouling paints were extremely effective, but they also created serious environmental problems. That is why the industry has had to move away from some toxic formulas and search for safer ones. The challenge is a balance. Keep the ship clean, save fuel, and avoid poisoning the place the ship travels through. So the real question changed. Not just, how do we stop barnacles? But, how do we stop them without harming everything else? And that is where the future becomes more interesting. Instead of killing what tries to attach, make attaching nearly impossible. The next generation of hull coatings may work less like poison and more like clever surface design. One idea copies shark skin, using tiny surface patterns that make it harder for organisms to settle. Another idea uses extremely slippery coatings, so larvae may touch the hull but cannot hold on. It is the polite version of, "I am not kicking you out. You just cannot stay here." Some smaller vessels even use vibration or ultrasonic systems to make the surface uncomfortable for growth. Nature solved parts of this problem long before ships existed. Engineers are now trying to learn from it. The goal is not just a cleaner ship. It is a cleaner ship that does not make the ocean pay too much for it. So the red bottom of a ship is not one simple answer. It is chemistry, biology, physics, and history in one painted layer. That red layer helps the ship slide through water, burn less fuel, and avoid becoming a moving reef. And that is why a color you barely notice can quietly affect the cost of moving goods around the world. The red bottom is the visible sign of a quiet war between steel and the ocean. On one side is steel, fuel, and engineering. On the other is an ocean that never leaves clean surfaces alone. So the next time you see a ship with a red bottom, do not think of it as decoration. Think of it as protection, history, and a reminder that even paint can be serious engineering. If you want more hidden engineering behind ships and machines, tell me what detail I should explain next.